Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Actually, today, I want that one of us will do the opening that has not done still.
So wait. Welcome to our channel, with the great people, with the handsome men. And so what was the quoting? Our only quote
The only thing you cannot say is you cannot say that.
But you cannot say that.
You cannot say that.
Exactly, you cannot say that. Cause come on, man, we just contradicted the whole bullshit. But yeah, that's what's up. Nice to see y'all again in our new episode. And today's subject, we decided that we're gonna speak about gender equality and
feminism.
No, we're not gonna do that. Just kidding. But yes,
it will be a subject.
Yes, so we're gonna build up our spectrum of subject around the gender equality and feminism, and we shall see where we head with this subject, and hopefully it's gonna be interesting one. So hang along and enjoy the show. So yeah,
nice. I have to give props, brother.
right.
Not bad. It's not the first time you put up a show, right?
You gotta practice.
Hey, you gotta practice. You never know. We had a friend, actually. Segue now. We had a friend.
That's it.
We had a friend. We were doing this podcasting. He had a business idea, I would say, something like that, and he approached us both. He took photos of you.
Yeah.
He took photos of him, and he had this business idea where he would just interview, like, the type of where
musicians.
yeah, like two people sit across each other, and they have this interview type of esque. And he had this that he was working with these celebrities here, celebrities, and he needed someone who would run that interview, and he approached us. But that thing, he's still working on it. He hasn't still done it, so I don't know what is going. What's on his part?
Hey, it's work in progress.
What's on about it? But I was surprised, and I told him that when it comes to like celebrities here, I don't know any of them, so it's better not for me to come up and ask questions.
Because I would be like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
You ain't shit. You ain't shit. I don't know you, but I don't care about you. You know what?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Even in any celebrity, I would just sit right across from you and look you in the eyes and say, "What's up? How you doing? You alright?
Alright, you living up? Good.
You're good." Or if they have that ego that, "Hey, do you know who I am?" I'll be like, "No, no, I don't know who you are."
Should I? You pay my taxes?
Do you pay taxes?
You sure about that? You sure about that?
You buy only blue.
Now, the reason why we went on this gender equality thing is because as we said in the first episode, we will take the diversity of life. And
What?
don't. And then we'll take a diversity of life and what kind of differences makes us unique and what kind of differences makes us better, what kind of differences makes us worse. And today we will have this gender discussion. Can we say it like that? Gender discussion. I'm gonna start off with an interesting question. When did the gender equality thing actually start to become a thing? A cult? Can we say a cult, or a movement, or just in the basic at stratosphere, that when it did start historically? Yeah. Do you have like hunches or guesses, or well, we have read history up until this point?
I would say a bigger scale around like early 1900s, I would say. Yeah. But of course, there might have been during the whole spectrum of time certain like small events that where they try to push it the same way, but in like worldwide, Worldwide, it was around 1900s, I would say.
What I know, Finland was actually one of the first countries where female were allowed to vote. I think so. Was it in 1800s or so? Like at the end of 1800s or something. So I think like the first time when there was actually strife for equality between men and women, that was maybe 1950s, maybe earlier. I'm not sure about the years exactly, but around that time, the first time when women started to think, hey, maybe we can have some of the things men have as well. So I think that's my guess when it started, right? When they started noticing that, hey, this is not fair, we don't get to have the same privileges as men, so we might as well go after them. That's my guess.
Yes. And you are both right. In the 1900s, it became like this more like a worldwide thing. In an original sense, it has been like in a Spartan civilization. Women were equal to men, but they had just different obligations. Women weren't obligated to go to war, but women were obligated to keep up with men. So therefore, I don't know how many of you know this, Spartan women had to be strong. They had to wrestle. They had to carry things. They had to train, even though they didn't fight. Like in a physical sense, they weren't fighting with the spears and, well, I was saying guns, but no guns back there, you know. Yeah. Spears and swords and arrows. Yeah. They didn't fight that life or death situation, but they did fight, for example, if a wolf tried to get at your kettle or tried to get at your child. Like, it was a very normal thing that a Spartan woman had these rights, and also Spartan women had rights to vote in the government things, because they had two kings and senates and politicians, just like we have today. But the scriptures that we have of the movement that it started around 1800s. Like those first steps, the first scriptures, the first steps, it started around 1800s. And side note, it started when things was getting better. In medieval times, nobody was asking the equal rights, you know what I'm saying?
Things were getting better. Oh, the dark times, baby, the dark times.
Hey, tell me if I'm wrong. In 1800s, most of the people were living quite nice, contrary to 1400s or 1300s.
Living up. Yeah, boys were living up with dark ages.
They were partying.
With that black death.
And well, it's an interesting touch, but we will get that back in the later. But the reason why I asked is because I want to bring this up as if that this is relatively a new thing for as a human species. If it's under 500 years, 1,000 years, I believe as a human species, it's a young thing for you. About 500 years, it's still a young thing, especially if it attacks in such a wide thing as your gender. And that's why I wanted to ask you that if this is a young thing, how have you seen it have been the improvements of it and the downgrades for it? Where has it been that, okay, this was a good thing because gender equality happened, and this is a bad thing because gender equality happened? Where have you, I'm talking about now more of a personal thing than in general. Tough questions, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah, amen. You can go first.
Right. Hold my saddle and horses and all in between. But praise the Lord. Amen. But yeah, well, personally, I would say like this. I always advocate that we all should have an equal opportunity. The part where I would kind of like differ is, or have a kind of mismatch view about it, is the term in itself. Because gender or equality, in my view, I see equality as illusion or kind of like a bullshit term to make everybody feel good in a way, because true equality doesn't even exist.
We know what happened to you then. If you suddenly disappear,
Hey,
we know what happened.
hey, that's what's up. Hey, somebody gotta speak the truth. Somebody gotta speak the truth. But yeah, so in my opinion, the true equality doesn't really exist, because we all are born in different like places and have our own experiences, and we grow up differently, and etc. etc. So there's no true equality in that sense. But of course, we should all have that equal opportunity to do things, and even gender-wise, as the term says, gender equality. Yes, I mean, yeah, in society we should be treated kind of like the same or have the same opportunity, but we have different roles. We behave differently. We are built differently. Our bodies and brains and all that are built differently. So there's no equality in that sense. Come on now, that's what's up. So yeah, overall, like the idea of it to have like same opportunities, able to vote and etc. Yes, I advocate for it, and I'm like 100 on it, but. Just remember that equality in that sense doesn't really exist. We just kind of like.
Can I ask you a follow-up question about this? Where does this come from? That you want for other, even if they are not, can we say, deserving about it, they can still have an opportunity to pursue that career or that goal or that woman or that man or whatever the case may be.
That's a bit loaded question.
That's loaded. That's really loaded. I mean,
No.
hold on. One guy just threw me under the bus, and like I'm just asking. Like, just asking. Like,
Of course. Loaded question. He will not answer the load question.
Loaded.
But more, the actual question is that where does it come from for you that you see it as there you are advocating for it, that there should be equality, not but equity. So therefore, everybody has the fairness, same fairness in every situation, or the same situation, same fairness.
Well, I mean, like we said, our situation will always differ based on where we grow up, or where we grow up, and where we're living currently, and etc. So it's more like you will be given that opportunity, even though you're from like a shittier place or you were raised shittier, but you still have the same opportunity to get into that place, even though it might be harder for you, but you still have that opportunity. In that sense, I'm like, agreeing on it. It stems from, as a society, if we feel like we are being treated noticeably differently than other person, of course, it creates a little kind of like this taste toward the... and it creates tension, mostly tension and a bitterness toward the community that you are in right now. So in that sense, when you allow individual in that community to have the same opportunity to reach whatever they're trying to reach, it gives off a little satisfactory feeling that they're being heard, and so that's pretty much it. It's in like a small sense.
Yeah, I have more follow-up questions, but I will. No, oh really? Are you sure?
What's you trying to load me up on?
No.
I was just listening to the conversation.
All right.
But anyways, go.
Yeah. Next follow-up question. The reason, because you started the answer, so more so, how then we judge this thing? Because it's easy, for example, to say, let's say I have, for example, experienced this, that I don't get the same opportunity as my female colleague because of the fact that I'm not native, or because of the fact that I look different, because of the fact that I speak different, whatever the case may be, or because of the fact that I'm younger. Like don't get me wrong, there's also a lot of ageism in a sense of...
We got worse for everything.
Everything.
Ageism, colorism,
well,
tallnessism, whitenessism.
I cannot say, for example, that he's a racist of my age. Like, that's stupid to me.
Just say racist.
Racist. Well, he judges me based on my age, not on my competence. And I have experienced that, and I believe both of you have experienced that.
My boy, have you seen my color lately? Yeah, I think you should know the answer at that point.
Not really on my side. If you talk about age racism, I don't think I have experienced that much.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, no. But like
Not even with the ladies.
There. I mean, that's something you definitely have to have had. Especially if you approach an older lady and she's like, oh, you're cute, but you feel a little bit young.
Although
You
someone,
gotta be like, hey, yo, ma'am. Hey, yo, man.
I'm not. If anyone has ever discriminated me about my age, like, oh, you look so old or you look so young, or so I cannot go on dates with you. But I have heard sometimes that I look much younger than I really am.
Well, yeah, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing, but that's not related to this thing. So that's the thing that comes to my age. I never had like issues, doing whatever I need to do to reach my goals. Whatever comes to what comes to my age.
Really?
So I really don't have had that kind of experience. That my age is holding me back.
That's holding me back.
No, holding me back. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. I have never heard that the young man hasn't been discriminated because of his age from opposite sex.
Well, that just goes back to what I mentioned earlier. That it's kind of like hard to say in that sense because everybody are raised in different places and grow in different environments as well, and might not, even though the same issue might be around him, he just has had the luck that he hasn't encountered it that much.
Yeah. And the thing is, even though I might not have experienced it, doesn't mean that it hasn't happened, right? There might have been some woman that, that looks a bit too young for me, but she has never been said that because she didn't want to hurt my feelings or something, which I never had, so I don't know about that. But for me, age has never been a thing because, well, for example, one area where let's talk about career, like getting a job has never been an issue. So I would have seen that if in any way I would have been struggling, that would be in that area at least. But never had that kind of experience. So yeah, I get really pretty much nothing to say about that area. To be honest.
I'm talking about myself. I have experienced it a lot.
Oh, right.
And the reason why I know it is because when I tell the age, the initial, I would say,
Demeanor or attitude
changes.
Yeah. Oh, we have seen it way too many times.
You see,
like at first they're like, "Oh yeah,
you're fine. Who is you?
Whatever you're telling me right now sounds smart." Then you mention your age or ethnicity or etc., and everything just flips over, and you're like, "What happened?"
What books have you read? What books have you read? Did you memorize it all?
I'm telling. And do you know what's the worst part?
Yeah.
The worst part, that even when you tell the age and their demeanor shifts, usually as a woman, I understand it. As a woman, you are, as a woman, perspective of a woman, not me. Brother.
Brother.
Yeah, what's that, brother?
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
From a perspective of a woman, you see how I changed that? I got this. From a perspective of a woman, I understand why you want an older man. Because of the fact that women biologically develop much more faster than men. For like a year or two ahead. Something like that.
It was 2 I think, right?
Yeah, something like that. They start to develop. So therefore, they expect to have that initial biological nature even. That they are attracted to more older than themselves.
Oh, no.
Bro, you think I'm playing? It's not normal that 80-year-old guy has a 20-year-old girlfriend.
Money. Hey, that's money, but hey,
it's true love.
That's just
that's true love.
At that point, but no. About the being attracted to an older guy, at that point, you just definitely know it's about money. But usually, let's say early 20s, somebody who's in their early 20s. I mean, females, y'all can argument about it down in the comment section, but I've seen it. They're usually more attracted to somebody who's like on their 40s, 50s, because usually at that time, most of guys have their shit together. At least, hopefully, unless you have fucked it up for everything and so on. Yeah. But usually, it's like around that area. They have that attraction toward them. But when you say 80 elder, bro, you're talking about money at that point. You're just talking about that old money.
Money talk.
Yeah, I understand that, but I don't understand where does it not click when even after you have learn that, okay, I'm a younger guy than you, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. It has happened to me. I'll still showcase that I'm much more smarter than you. I am much more experienced than you. I have much more wisdom than you.
You ain't shit.
Not you ain't shit. But the fact is that if we start to talk about in general life, she doesn't have anything on me. And you still judge me. Why? Because I'm younger than you. And it's a funny thing to see that, but I also understand where, like you said, I don't know her story. I don't know what happened to her. I don't know how she is raised. So there are so many contributes. And side note, even this is a very side note to this very important thing. All these like signs, the attractiveness signs, or the interesting sign, or the demeanor signs, or are they lying or not? Are they lying or not? Usually don't mean jack until you don't learn about their past. Yeah, a lot of stuff happens.
Personal attacks.
No. But anyway.
He said,
Segway.
So no, I'm telling you.
But you had a question on that.
But the follow-up question, because this is the second follow-up question, right? How do we judge that? That where we have been righteous in this decision that, for example, you said that he has an opportunity or she has an opportunity to reach that goal or to reach that thing that they want to reach. How do we, of course, I'm asking a little bit difficult question in a sense because...
trying to figure out how to build it up. Yep.
Yeah, because even politicians have a tough time to understand this, and they have been doing that, unfortunately, for a long time.
Still no answer, so imagine if I answer it. Huh?
Yeah. But maybe my question more is like, how do we navigate it? That we know, okay, this was the right decision, this was the wrong decision.
That's a loaded ass question again, because I mean, overall,
Episodes would be called loaded questions.
a lot of loaded questions. To begin with, how do you judge it if it was a right or wrong question? Well, most people in position of making the judgment usually mirror it to their past experiences and how they've kind of like dealt with a certain, like, example, individual, the certain age group or color, or etc., etc. Or in the worst case scenario, they're just basing it on like their own fear or hatred, or kind of like a what they say racial like ignorance basically. So it's kind of like hard to say like what do they base it on, and what they should base it on. Because, like let's say they have had like 10 young guys who have messed it up before. What do you think he's going to expect for the next 5 guys? Next 5 young guys? Yeah. So it's kind of like hard to say like what should they like base their judgment on?
The only thing is like it really depends if he has had 10 poor experiences. Of course, if he hasn't learned how to deal with them, of course it's clear that how he's going to deal with the next 5 people. But if, for example, he has reached help, professional help, that's a different question. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much depends really on the context also.
Yeah, pretty much. And only way probably would be to just base or judge people on individualism. So take
big words,
baby. Big word, So you basically take anybody as they are and not like label them as gender X, gender Y, this color, X color, and just that's why. Have you noticed like there were, I don't know if they're still trying to do it again, but they had this thing when, example, you apply for a job. It's kind of like in an anonymous way, because there was talk a few years back about foreigners trying to apply to a Finnish job or the country that they live in. And they had the difficulty of, example, they were already kind of like filter out based on their name or ethnicity or age group or etc. So they're trying to like make into that you could apply to a work anonymously only thing you could be based on the are their CV details. Example, what have you done, etc. But it is not showing if you're a male, female, or what ethnicity. And that's kind of convenient in a way, because let's be honest, like we said earlier, how would somebody judge rightfully?
Yeah.
Most people just judge based on their past experience. So that's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your judgment
Wisdom.
question. Hey, to your judgment question, bro, you're just loading a whole freaking bullet on me and trying to make me answer it like I'm a freaking politician. Well, yeah.
So now another no, I'm playing. No worries, because now these questions go to him.
Oh.
No. We started out with the question that how have you seen the improvements and the downgrades in the gender equality as of it is a new thing in a sense in history of humanity? Your own experience, what have you seen? That we started with that.
One thing about the downside.
The downside.
Yeah, improvements and the downgrades. What you mean, common sense?
No. We already lost that long. How many years back? But let's see.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see.
Let's see. No.
Well, the obvious thing is, of course, I think I've really much, when he was talking about like the equal opportunity, I must say that to me is, like I said, well, I know this sounds like a broken record, but I think like what he has to say about equality is pretty much also, in my opinion, like it really depends, because in the inequality, there's always inequality, because right, the one who works harder is deserving of more rewards, right? So I think that's a very, very important context for me. When we talk about equality, there is no like 100% equality, because some people are going to work more, some are going to work less.
Yeah.
But that's just for the sake of equality in general. What comes to like how things have changed, well, we see women more going into jobs that they never used to, and people never thought they would go to, like salesmen, sales jobs, construction work, all those kind of things. You never would imagine seeing women. So I think that's really great. If a woman wants to be a salesperson, of course, you go for it. And yeah, but at this current job of mine, there isn't that many sales women, but I have been working in some companies where there have been sales women, and they're doing a terrific job. I have nothing bad to say about it. So,
Okay.
but yeah, like I think it's really great. It's really great in the way that if they feel like, okay, so this is what I want to do, and they're going to go after it. I don't think gender should be the thing that you should base it on. Just like you said, competence is really the thing that we should always think about. Until there are literal biological limitations, I don't know what would be exact ways of saying it. What would be the exact firefighters, for example? Would I see women there?
Yes.
Possibly. But what is it physical competence exactly? What it could be with men? Well, if we talk about physical strength, durability, all the stamina, all the kind of things, we know that men can handle it much better. Not just because fuck women, they can handle it. There are like exceptions, but in general, I agree that firefighters, men, are more capable of handling the pressure, all the like late nights, long hours of working, and all the heat, all the pressure, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, you need to turn off the fires, whatever. I don't know exactly all the parts of it, but
Yeah.
but yeah, sure. Like, it really depends. Really depends on the job, and it really depends on the individual as well. But I think like maybe it has turned to in some ways to the point of talking about feminazi, especially when women have I'm talking about extreme cases where women are turning it into so that men are the evil and they should go to the deepest part of hell, because their own poor experiences.
Yeah.
And then there is the part like everything that is seen as in a sightless way bad thing, that they're not getting something as when men are the inequality. Fuck you, man. Fuck every single man. They are taking away all our rights, blah blah blah. But whatever they are saying, right? So the slightest thing on the equality is all of a sudden like, oh, all men are piece of shit, and we should zero their rights in this and this area, right? Yeah, or at least limit. So even though they wouldn't be like based on just sexism or anything like that, but it's just because they project their own prejudices on that side, to that specific area, they see it as inequality. Although it might not be even inequality, it's just something that used to be there and we never thought about. But because there's so much talk about equality and female empowerment, which is good, those are all good things. But then when we start, maybe especially if you have bad experiences and you really, really believe in something like feminism, which is in a way kind of like ideology, they see it as a way to kind of empower them and just to frame their life with. I don't know how to put it. You see what I mean?
To cope.
And to kind of handle things, and just to have a certain way of seeing life. And they have, in addition to that, they have porn.
I'm gonna take these off because last time you threw me.
Yes, yeah. So if you have like this ideology, and then you have these projections, what is holding you back from having projecting that prejudice on something that's really not inequality? So I think that's where it has come to, where we see inequality in places where there really isn't inequality. And then where equality would be in place, nah. And then, but that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant or something. I can't name any examples, but that's how I kind of have seen that we start seeing that there's inequality in places where it used to be just a common thing. Yeah. One of the most ridiculous things I have seen lately is traffic signs. You see, you even thought about like when you see the blue white sign of like big guy and let's say big person and small child. It's characters just for the sake of equality. And a big guy and a small guy. Okay, big character and small character. And then now you have seen like a few years ago, one of my acquaintances sent me a message where there was a character with a dress on, just to make sure that there's also a woman there in the traffic sign. That's like, come on, man. Like, I understand. Like,
we create another war. Like, what about? Are you telling people can't wear pants? That was create another one.
Exactly. Yeah, but like my point is like, sure. They might appear like a man, but does it really matter?
It's just a stick figure.
It's a stick figure to make sure that the traffic is safe.
And it's black, so
I never thought when I see a traffic sign, oh, that's a guy there. Oh, I like how manly he is. I never thought about it until it was brought up.
It's black on top of that, so somebody started creating. Oh, hold on. What about the whites? Like you're signing for the black.
Yeah, but when we talk about white rights, no. White people have enough rights. Too much of them even. That's that.
This guy is just shooting.
Yeah, like did you watch the video where there were people asked like, are you proud of your ethnicity? There were black people, Caucasian people, all that kind of people. Then there was this, the Caucasian. The thing was that the Caucasian and all the other people except white, they said, "I'm proud of being Spanish. I'm proud of blah 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 blah." But then there was this Caucasian white person. Let's say Caucasian white. There was anyways mixed guy, woman actually. They were asked about another ethnicity. Are you proud of that? Yes. Are you proud of your white ethnicity? Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. And that's the thing. Like we have been told. Like I think that's the thing it has come to, because for a very long time there was a lot of racism towards other races, except for white people. Now we have been compensating it to the point of where somehow it has turned all upside down, where we think like white people are the bad guys or bad whatever. Yeah, that's like just no, not that good as it used to be.
As it used to be. Hold on.
Back in the day when we didn't think about it that much, if you were white, okay, yes, there's a white person, right? But nowadays it's almost like he should be ashamed somehow that you are white. Although you can do anything about your skin color, right? Except, of course, you can. But if I'm white, I'm not gonna go like someplace and get a surgery and okay, now I'm black. You know.
The reason why we laughed is because when you said the good old days, we were already started thinking, what?
No. I wasn't talking. No, I make myself sound like some Dixie guy from some southern country or something. But like, let's say back in the days, the good old days. back in the days. But I mean, like, let's say 20 years ago, when we didn't make it so that being a white would be in any way be a bad thing.
Yeah.
And now I feel like, yeah. You're really are throwing me under the bus. Like
bye.
He's loading questions and throwing.
No, actually, we have. But you had some questions, or you had something.
Yeah, I had
okay.
Earlier segment about when you mentioned about females or the opposite genders being in a certain specific like career roles, like being a firefighter, etc., etc. A few years back, I had this conversation with a certain individual about like, is it that female are not choosing to take like a harder roles or like much more a complex task to get a higher pay? Because we had a conversation about pay gaps, like reason why, example, statistically males are getting paid more are because a lot of them are taking much more riskier jobs. So we had this whole conversation about this. Is actually a follow-up question to either of you. Is it that reason why females are not taking such a hard and dangerous jobs because they were raised in a way that they were more like influenced by the like softer jobs like being a doctor or like office job, something that didn't require that physical part. Yeah. And guys, why they're choosing the more complex job is because they were, well, I mean, hey, it's a follow-up question. Y'all can answer that. But is it more that guys choose those complex job or difficult or dangerous jobs because they're like influenced when they're younger, they see like war games or their father or by movies that guys should be doing this? Is that the reason why females and males are choosing like different like careers because of that they were influenced when they were younger, or is it like a biological thing? Because I had a whole debate about this, but I want to see how y'all like view this and what is your opinion on this? Yeah. Which one?
Well, I think it takes like if the question was that what is the reason women go a certain way, maybe not as exactly like let's say men go to firefighters, women become nurses. So what is the reason for that? That's what you're asking, right? In a way. So
yeah, in a way that, and also kind of just statistically, like we say, it's shown that guys are more likely to take those riskier jobs. Females are more likely to take the STEM jobs that don't require to be outside that often or put yourself in danger.
Yeah, I see. I think it takes back to Stone Ages, back in the very, 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 very long time ago, back in the day when I was young.
My days.
Yeah, when I was young about...
Did you know how to charm a woman back then? You hit her in
Sorry, it's too long time ago. I can't remember. It's about a few thousand years, so I can't remember. So come on, you can, come on, you can expect me to remember everything.
A few thousand years, shit happens.
Yeah. A lot of things happen. I can remember everything, but Stone Ages. The thing was that men went hunting, and protected the town wherever they lived, and women were living in the towns, raising the child, and picking up berries or whatever, but they were doing there. So even back then, what women were doing were much more about taking care of their children and other people in the town, as men were there to hunt and go after some things to survive, right? So I think it's really is it genetical thing, right? right way to say? Like it's based in our genes, right? Because from the thousands of years, our ancestors doing the same thing. So I think it's really based on that. Like we have these genes that really, and our environment encourages also to kind of that evoke those genes. Okay, so men go after these jobs where we have to take risks, like sales job. What else? Sales jobs and construction work. All these traditional jobs men are doing, right? Whereas women become nurses, doctors, those kind of things where they have to take care of other people, right? Helping elderly people, all that kind of stuff. So I think it comes from that place, and except from the past, based on our history, but also like how our society, at least until the latest decades, used to do the same thing. I think that now during the past decades, it has a bit changed the direction where women are encouraged to take more risks and go outside their comfort zones, where even men are encouraged to stay home and raise their children, right? So it has been going to both directions, right? So, but I think it's like the biggest thing there is the messaging or the programming happening around us all the time. Like from our parents, our peers, our friends, social media especially. Now, but the social media is a huge impact on it. So, but it's a lot of things. That's my take on it.
Yes, sir.
I got a follow-up on question on that, so don't even get too excited.
No, I'm not excited. I'm just there was this one joke that I was just replaying to myself, and I was like, should I say it or should I not?
Well, go for it.
But I must say it. I must say it. And that friend of yours, acquaintance. If
No more. I ain't got no more.
no more.
Okay.
She believed in 100% that there was a page gap.
He just threw generously the game.
Well, she believed, right?
There what?
That there was a wage gap.
Yep.
With that logic, I would hire just trans women.
Well, makes sense.
That would make sense, right? Because I would have.
That very stuff. Makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. If the pay gap is real, I have the manpower.
Oh no.
But I give the salary of a woman. So I am 200% winning on this business.
Yo, you know what's gonna happen next thing? We're gonna find us posing with that mugshots.
What? They gonna cancel me? I don't give a shit, bro. Cancel me.
And me and Peter gonna be like associates.
Associates.
My guy said, hold on, I'm just gonna hire transgenders at this point.
But and the next joke is the AC.
Oh no.
The ACs. They ruined it for everybody. The moment the ACs came inside, the women were like, yeah, we want equality. Back in the days when men were hunting lions, no, you just go hunt lions. We will take the berries and raise the children.
AC, so hold on, what the...
Yeah, the moment the ventilators came inside, the ventilators, all of a sudden, women wanted equality, right? It was, now, all jokes aside, it's interesting that how when things started to become better for a man, that's the point when the woman started to say that, hey, you know what, we want also that. That is very interesting to observe, because how long can we trace back history as if now that we know? 400,000 years? Something like that?
Enough.
There's not a single point in history where you can read, find, or say that any woman was like, you know what, man? I will come with you and hunt that lion down.
You know what? Let's go to war. Let's go to war, bro.
Only some queens, but the queens were just giving commands. They were not actually fighting. Yeah. Although we have to give the respects where the respects are due. When there was a woman fighter who actually fought in war, shout out to her. I don't know any of them.
I know few. Actually, few of them. Like I said, equality, baby.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm serious, and I'm serious. I don't know. Pirate, the Henriette.
Well, that's true.
But-
She had a rough finish.
She had it rough.
finish.
Henriette, was it Henriette?
Or Anna. Henriette or Anna?
What was her
Don't
name?
ask me. Don't ask me.
Oh, wait a second.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, you get what you mean. Yeah, there was a Captain Pirate, a woman, and she was a bad woman.
Baddie.
And she was a bad man. Answer to your question. I believe it's part of what Puru told us. It's a nature thing, where naturally, as a man, you are attracted to that adrenaline, that danger, that achieving something, that risk. You are naturally attracted to it. Now, what society has done is they are trying to numb you and make you feel like risk is everything. No, you lose, you win. That's life.
Use a bitch, use a bitch.
I'm gonna be straight up with you. You will lose. If you want to win, you will lose.
Lose some, win some.
It's as simple as that. But you only need to win once.
Game's game.
Game is game. The nature is one part. The second part is logic. I'm gonna be honest with you.
We're missing it a lot.
There's not a single man who can sit back and say logically that, you know what, I want to go just for pure fun of it. Maybe some crazy guys do, but just for pure fun of it, I want to go to the Norway's oil station down at many meters down to the oil rigs and change the locks and do the work. Is
Oil or mine?
not oil? No, the oil in
the pipeline?
The pipeline, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, the horror stories. Oh, hell no.
You know, like
You
it's
got a big cuckoo in your head to do this.
no logic in the world can say that it's fun, or it's somehow that let's do it. Hey,
That's what I've always wanted.
you know,
Dream come true. Woo.
you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But as a man, the essence of a man is that to do it anyway. No matter what you feel, no matter how you look at it, it doesn't have to make sense, but somebody has to do it.
Doesn't have to
And
make sense.
no, it doesn't have to make sense, but somebody has to do it. That's the essence.
Okay.
And actually, I have, these street interviews that people do.
Yeah. Oh no.
There was a street interview, and it was so interesting to observe. There was a guy who went and asked, like people in general, they asked, which job would you take?
Preferably.
Preferably. 100K a year, plumbing job, or a high office job, no payment. These were the terms. As a guy, and I know for every guy, I'm not talking about Tesla owners. I'm talking about the guy.
Whoa!
Shots fired.
My guy said crossfire, bro. Shoot. Strays.
As a guy's guy, as a man, every man will take 100K a year plumbing job. It's not fun, and it's dirty, and it stinks.
Family living good.
But family be living good. Every guy that he asked said the same exact thing. Yeah, give me that plumbing job. I'm making 100K a year. That's a good money.
Money is money.
There wasn't single woman
Who wanted to do it?
who would say that I would do the plumbing job, even if it was good pay. All the women chose high-end office job
Without payment.
without payment. It wasn't even.
High office job without payment. What kind of logic is that?
Think about that. No, there's no logic. There's no logic.
Loaded question again.
But the fact was so interesting to hear that they would rather choose the comfort over the freedom. Power, money, freedom.
Freedom. Yeah.
I got you on that one. I got you.
But yeah, that was how I saw it.
To the same subject, because that's why I actually asked you both about that, because the individual I spoke with was like trying to convince that the reason why, for example, in your scenario, females chose the high-paying job is because they're uprising. Basically, they were raised to have much more comfort rather than having extreme jobs or doing the extreme things. So it's not equality in that sense. And I'm like, okay. And other thing was also what I wanted to ask you, y'all again, was that because yes, they said that we should be like brought up the same way, and like, for example, in Finland, they want to push out that, or maybe they want to push out that also females would have to go army the same way. Because in Finland, we have the thing that when you become 18, you're required to go to military service for at least half a year, or do a civil service, or what, etc., etc. So they were thinking about changing those rules and making it equal to both genders. And I'm not sure if I'm mistaken by now, but if it was Norway or Sweden that had already the gender neutral kind of like zoning, that because, well, I'm kind of like mixed matching, but because what we said earlier, that females are kind of like raised in a way that they are looking for the comfort and high, well, office jobs, etc. But in Norway, they were kind of like equaling it out, the playing field. And even though they equaled out the playing field, still the results were kind of similar. There were like abnormalities, well, quote unquote abnormal, because one person does not make rules. So there were single persons that chose. Same in Finland, you know. When we say police officer, we do not say policemen anymore or firemen. We say firefighter or fire, like it's gender neutral. Yeah. So even when we have those in like Scandinavian countries, the stats are still the same in a way that a majority of the females choose certain type of jobs, a majority of males choose certain type of job. And there are certain individuals that will like cross paths and choose the opposite, like example, the roles that more likely females would choose, and so on with females as well. And, you know, kudos to those, you know, tough ones, 10 toes down, you know, respect y'all. But, you know,
they are actually they are so good human beings.
Yeah.
The women who actually make the same work as men, like military, for example, or they do the construction work, or they are firefighters, or the police, they are very good human beings. Why? Well, the factor of being a very highly competitive male environment will humble you very quickly.
And it ain't even a joke. It ain't even a joke. It is rough out there. Even as a guy, it's rough out there. So game is game. So kudos to those who choose that. And even if you didn't choose those, kudos to that. But like, it just shows that, you know, there's still like majority roles that, you know, certain genders choose, even though there's no like direct influence on you should be more this, you should be more that. And yeah, but to that, like, you know, as a follow-up, so even though you get what I mean? Because when you said like they were offered like 100K a year plumbering job, any guy, already in my head was like, I heard money. I was like, I heard money.
It's almost 10K a month. Think about that.
Exactly.
Almost.
Mama living good, bro.
Yeah. Mama made it.
Mama made it at that point. But oh yeah, and the other thing was actually this was continuous subject to the same thing about when females choose like nursing and so on, and why nowadays they're pushing like they want a higher pay, because a lot of them want higher role jobs, like they want the managing, the leading job without actually necessarily having the responsibility the same way as. Because, you know, you get 1 + 1 does not make, you know, 25 all of a sudden. So to that actually follow up. What y'all think about that? Because a lot of them want to like get the leading position, CEO, etc., etc. They want to be the bosses and etc. But not all of them actually absorb in the responsibility that as a manager or leader or so on, you have to like be responsible of people. Actually, you have to take accountability of if something goes wrong or risk and etc.
Well, I guess like you said, like women are more after comfort, like in a sense, and men are more after the risk. I think like that's where it comes from. They prefer to have all those great things, really high pay, salary, nice position, status, all those kind of things. So those are nice. Nobody is gonna be like, oh, I hate that fucking really nice office view to that. You know, I fucking hate that. God damn, I hate that. No, who would really say like I hate that? Like, except that you're whatever. But like the responsibility there, where it comes to the risk factor, right? There it comes like, if I fuck up, people are going to hold me accountable about it. And some people are not going to be nice about it. So I guess that would explain why some women, even the majority of women, are going to be, you know what, I want to have all these nice things, but you know what, leave out the responsibility part. I don't mind. I think that's really pretty much could explain why some women are not up for the accountability part. And I think like the accountability, like equality, has escalated quite quickly during the late past few decades. So it has been in a rapid change. So now maybe the talk has been all about equality in their rights, not about equality in their obligations. And I think that's what I've noticed at least. I think that's. Don't you agree? Like the equality has been mainly about opportunities, but not really about like, okay, so if you have this opportunity, here's the thing: if you're gonna fuck up, there's gonna be these things you have to take responsibility for.
That's what's up. You got the equal chance to become, like they say, you got the equal chance to become CEO, whatever you want. But do you hold it up? Competence. Do you have the competence to be that? Because that was actually what I wanted to switch on the feminists, because that was the other part of the subject. Because I'm all for that. That even if female wants to be in a leading position, that's what's up. If you have the competence to back it up, do that. Because example, in my workplace, I have seen like all the jobs I've seen a lot of females that are like great on like leading positions, and I respect them and all that. So by us like telling right now, like majority of people are not suitable for it, it's not telling that there wouldn't be like certain individuals to like fill out those shoes. So remember that. So kudos to those who are capable of doing it, and if you ain't, that ain't even problem. Choose your route. But yeah, do that. It's not about the gender necessarily, but the competence.
Yeah, the thing is, we're not telling anybody here that, because you're a woman, you cannot do this. But of course, if you have a goal and really want to go after it, go for it. After all, it's just saying like there are some biological factors that kind of vary and impact how long it might take for you to reach a certain position in your career. That's based on biology, genetics, all those kind of things. So we're not really like, because you're a woman, you cannot go for a CEO position. That's not simply not true. That's simply not true.
Oh shit! Oh, you still got?
No. Go.
Oh, and have y'all noticed? Like, okay, we can think about like firefighter, etc. But the job that actually kind of like brings out how unequal we are I wouldn't say equal, we're different. That's the funny thing. People don't want to accept the fact that sexism is a normal thing. A funny thing, it's a normal thing. And used to be no, it is, because because in my opinion, the moment when we are as a society, when we're gonna start moving forward, is that we accept the fact that sexism is a real thing, and it's something that is gonna be as long as we are two gender. Well, nowadays we
Exactly.
You just stepped on that, brother.
Hey, even if I said we're 100 genders, like some, no disrespect, but some of y'all be goofy as fuck.
Listen to this, man.
Because some of y'all be goofy as fuck. If you want to be a plane, but you ain't gonna come to me and tell me there's like 15 genders, man. As human species and mammals, there's two genders, so shut the fuck up. So on that note, even if we had like 100 genders, it would just mix up the bucket even more. But let's think.
Here's a question. Okay, so here are the genders, whatever you name it. But how can you like tell that there are more than two genders that can procreate? Is there any evidence that there are more than two genders that actually can procreate?
Helicopter.
No, like, hey, but that's the reason why I mentioned we're mammals.
Yeah.
Because people are like, well, there's those species that kind of like regenerate, kind of reproduce with themselves, kind of like a seahorse, and then the other.
Birds?
No. Well, those goofies, I don't even know what the hell they're. But the one sea creature that kind of Jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish, because they also reproduce kind of like differently. They have like own pattern, like they kind of like goes the whole cycle.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's fair. Can I interpret a bit? It is true. There are multiple ways of procreation, but is it true that just because another species has been able to do it, is it true that just because there is a possibility that we human beings actually can do it?
That's what I said. Mammals, man. Some motherfuckers didn't listen at the biology class, man. So that's why. But back now to the earlier one. What was it? Oh yeah, the jobs that actually push out the. Oh yeah. Well, let's just backtrack so people don't follow. But what I mean, sexism. It's a real thing. It's gonna always exist, and we just gotta appreciate and accept it in a way that you're gonna be this, and your body and brain is gonna be like this. And it's gonna be different than mine. And my character and gender, etc., is more built for certain type of role. I might not always choose it, but it's more built toward that. And you gotta just accept that we're not equal in that grounding. We're equal as humans, but as an individual, we'll never be equal. Because I might do harder work than you. I might exceed in academics. I might, just accept it. That's what I mean. But the thing that I wanted to go to, the job that actually shows or demonstrates that not all y'all know special forces.
Yeah. I was thinking that where he's going.
Y'all know special forces.
Facts.
Hey, they've done in one of the northern countries, and I'm not sure if it's Denmark or where. There is a special forces that have females because they have difference in their like requirements to get in. Because of course, if females and males have the same requirements to get in, they ain't getting in. Let's just make that. There's not a single female that has gone to Navy SEALs. That already demonstrates you a lot. Like not a single female, and even SAS, like the actual like group.
He's not talking about the Hell Week.
No,
he's talking about the first appliance test.
Like the basic,
the first test that you have to do, the swimming, pull-ups, sit-ups,
all
and
those
push-ups.
Because the requirements are much suited for a male body than a female body. That's why, example, a lot of jobs when they have the sets. Example, even Finnish military when they have their points, how much points you get from different like achievement or like exercise. There's difference between the amount on female side and male side for a reason. Understandable for a reason. But when they're equal, quote unquote equal, so basically same requirements, the success rate is not the same.
Yeah, the only way to make it equal would be unequal. Let's say that women couldn't be able to make it so easy. So that would mean that we would lower the standards, right? So that men and women would have the same starting point. Men would have to reach the same goals as women have to. Imagine if there's going to be what do you think is going to happen in that situation?
Even then there wouldn't be any females because men overlap.
Exactly. The one that actually thought that okay, you know what, I'm not able to pull it up. But now they know that they have lower standards. You know what? Actually, now I could. So now more and more men are gonna be like, oh, you know what? I got this. They're gonna be women are gonna be overruled anyway. So there's not gonna be equality for them anyways.
Funny thing is, even in normal military, because we bash like shit, but even in normal military, the roles that, example, females choose, or even the branches that they go through to military, it's not the hardest one. Not even infantry. Well, infantry have their own reason why they do not even accept, but it's not the hardest role that they choose. It's usually like military police or the like management roles or like medical.
Yeah, about that. Like I remember, like when I was in the military, I remember that I really rarely saw any women. Like they were about in my team, like the whole like larger group. What is it called? Like not a team, but platoon. Like in my platoon, there were about 2 women, and only one sub-sergeant or woman as a woman. Every rest was man. So even that already tells, like even there is that opportunity, very little amount of women are taking that chance. As a contrast, when I was working in the I think I told you about the Crime Sanctions Agency, just where I was. There, social workers, the people who evaluate the criminals, about, I would say 80 or 90% of them are women. There was only one man there. Oh, well, it was Mary, so I don't know about that.
All of the women have the exact same time period, and you have been charged with something stupid, but they are in a bad mood.
You loading it again, bro. You loading it again. You make it very difficult. You see, he's putting you in trouble again. But yeah, so while we speak about the special force, I mean in America, you heard this America. This one, I don't know what, management role guy or whatever, somebody who's in leader position. He had an interview with a female who asked like, why don't y'all have like females in like Navy SEALs, etc. Yeah. He said straight up, have y'all seen female carrying the goddamn boats or the logs? Imagine she needs to press this much amount of weight. She's gonna fold like a fucking crouton. I'm like, and I said at that moment, I said facts. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you female can do it, get at it, man. Respect at y'all. But biologically, it's much more difficult for your ass to get it to do it. So that's why. And even we don't even have to go all the way to America. Even in Finland, I haven't seen in Erikos, the border like Jaegers. I haven't seen females, or even the paratroopers. Yeah. I haven't seen females or the divers. Yeah, it's a difficult job, even physically for a male. It's a difficult job. Quote back to the earlier what we're trying to say. We're not trying to bash the other gender because notes females are much more better at pain tolerance than guys. So a lot of these jobs, if we remove like the other like things that this job requires, a lot of females would be much more suitable for those jobs.
And I'm gonna be even more like in a strategic standpoint. If I have to go somewhere, I would send first a beautiful female. Mm-hmm. Why? Because beautiful female is not a threat. Initially, it's not a threat. But a man, all guards. Like, understand that he's not bashing, but he's just trying to say that this particular suite of things that happen in the military, for example, it's very physical, it's very challenging, even for a man. There are no women in there. And even to your point, I believe that there is women who are physically capable to do that. Like say, for example, some CrossFitter. They are tough because they do a lot of work. But then why is the reason that she doesn't go there? Well, she has to also deal with that pressure all the time, that competitiveness. She has to be on top all the time. That's how Navy SEALs are included or chosen. That's how parachutists here are chosen. They have tests every week. They have concurrence of who will get out of here.
I actually had a question, like
on this.
Sorry.
On this or
just a side note, like talking about sports. If we go to sports, like
he's gonna
So let's just say that there is gonna be at the best of the best of the best women league in ice hockey, and then they are gonna take a match against men. What do you think is gonna happen? Let's say there are no limitations. Men can play as they usually do. Men versus men.
I'ma make so much money,
bro. No, this has been even proven. This has been proven. They put like this one female like football group basically, and they were professional. That's the funny thing, and they put one average guy who at least knows something about football and knows how to play, but he's not in a big team. So imagine that guy wrecked the whole team, like literally wrecked the whole team, just to show that yes, you can do it, but you might not be able to do it the same way as this guy does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said I would make a lot of money. I would just bet on the men all the time. Like, for example, think about LeBron James going to a women's league. Bro.
Yeah, the subject about the NBA.
Yeah, I would just...
NBA. Because they had they complained about like WNBA, the female side, and the normal NBA, like that the players get paid more than females.
Yes.
But ironically, statistic-wise, actually females are getting paid more than guys for a reason that the reason why male NBA is getting paid more because, of course, a lot more viewers and it's much more entertaining to watch. Even for a female too, even for another female, it's much more entertaining to watch a male NBA game than a female NBA game. But the revenue that comes in, if we count it percentage-wise, what players are getting paid, actually females are getting paid more. Percentage-wise, they're getting paid like what? Yeah. Out of the revenue, almost 90%, or something like that, which is a big portion. Even let's say the whole match they gather like 100K. Imagine about 60K of it is being paid to the players, compared to like NBA, which if it was 100K, about like 30-40K is being paid to the players. So, which is noticeable amount. It's just that your game is just not entertaining enough to get more money, but you're still getting paid statistically more than. So even all those things, small things, in sports side, when you mentioned the sport, I was like already, I'll remember this shit. I remember this shit. So that way, yes, there's equality, but at the same time,
Common sense.
yeah, and competence, and we do not have equality at the same time. That's what I'm trying to like get at. Like the true equality, what everybody is like imagining in their head, is kind of like the ideological equality that everything is basically the same. You know, whatever you do in life is the same. You're pretty much raised and born the same, which is ain't true and will never be.
I think like the thing that would need to change to how would I put it? What would need to change to in the current conversation when it comes to equality, it would first to define what would be that kind of equality that helps the society most, right?
Common sense.
Common sense, exactly. Common sense, like so that you know, women can do whatever they want, men can do whatever they want, but when it comes to career, their personal lives, all that kind of stuff. But and also remember that there's never ever gonna be equality because there's always there's always inequality as part of equality, right? Mm-hmm. It is not something you can just take away from the equation because without inequality there isn't equality.
Actually, it's same subject. Nowadays, I'm the questioning guy.
Let's go.
Hey, but
I haven't still answered your question. Oh, you know that.
Yeah, you have the paper.
But you can ask. You can ask. I remember everything.
Go ahead, say that.
You asked about this, that even if the playing field were evened out, in Norway, for example, or in Iceland, actually, it was.
It was Iceland.
I don't remember.
As per people who live in a Scandinavian country, we have noticed that.
We have noticed that.
Everything, even our books are neutral.
And I have this suspicion, maybe it's just me, but
paranoid.
Women get leeways when they are judged in a test. Leeways, for example, in academics.
What do you mean exactly?
I mean that if I do the test and she does the test, if I make some decimal mistake and she makes the same exact mistake, she will not be reprimanded the same as me. I haven't paid attention to such this is my feeling. This is not some fact that I have absolutely observed. But this is a feeling. Why? Because
favoritism.
It's easy to see when you go into schools. There are a lot more females than there are males.
We just
and studies show females are not smarter than men. This is not something that I'm saying. This is studies saying it, statistics. And and it doesn't suit me right that where does this, I would say, incompetence come from a guy's part? But then
you gotta give them the studies, man. I bet somebody will ask you this.
I will link them below. I don't care.
Yeah, I want to read them.
Okay, got you. However, where I believe this competence goes to is because now guys have it much more easier, and in a sense of, for example, that video games thing or pornography, it's so easy to get that satisfaction. You don't need to risk anything, and you're immune to the risk, or you're numb. And when the risk comes, you're shocked. You don't know what is the risk. But that's a segue to another subject. You asked that how I believe that because of the nature that we have. I'm going to give you guys actually this hypothetical situation. You guys have a car, expensive car. You love that car. It's not for your heart, but you love that car. You like it. You go to place to place.
Honda Civic.
Let's go, Honda Civic.
Hey, I mean, can't complain. He knows what's up, man. Honda Civic, man. Save bit.
2K free.
He knows.
Hey.
And you were driving with that?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I got it from my grandpa.
Got it.
Hatchback?
Yeah.
Hatchback or sedan?
What does it mean?
So is it have a big booty or small booty?
I think it was.
Or was it kind of like a boxy back?
It was a. I don't know exactly, but I think it was big.
It was kind of like...
You know,
yeah.
like a, doesn't know. I don't know. I think it was a big booty.
Okay, so it was the regular Civic, the
Gotcha.
hatchback.
Yeah. And you have that Honda Civic. For you, Lamborghini?
No, bro, you should know at this point which car I'm talking about.
My bad, bro. And
No, bro, it's a Skyline. Bro.
of course. And a Skyline or Supra?
Skyline.
Gotcha. Skyline. You have Skyline, you have Civic. And now I need that car. I'm your friend, I need that car. Hey, I need the car. I need it for the day. Now, God forbid, I crash it.
It's already crashed.
God forbid I crash it. When I come to you, I don't come with this kind of attitude that somehow it was your fault because you gave me flooded car. I come with the attitude.
You dare to come with that attitude, bro? You got issues.
Hold up a second, because I'm taking this as an example, hypothetical example, that when I come, I have that innate responsibility as a man that I have taken something from somebody else. And now, if I do something, it's my responsibility. I have to fix it. I call you, I say, hey, bro, I crashed it. I will take care of it. That's it. If a woman did that, you gave it to your woman, for example. He crashed. Damn. No, she crashed it. What's the reaction?
It was a shitty car, anyways.
Like she does. She's.
It wasn't my fault. It was the pole in front of me.
You gave it to me. You know I was a bad driver.
Hey, let's just clear it out right now. Not everybody gonna be like that. It in a lot of cases it depends on your upbringing. If you were in a responsible household, because I know a lot of like females who are much more responsible than guys. So I would say in like a, if we're talking about like a neutral grounding, like both are just, then the possibility of that reaction is in higher in like females that they're gonna like.
Yeah, because we have that innate responsibility. And it comes from the fact that as a kid, when you are growing up, you're reminded of your flaws all the time. And then if you do a mistake, you're a man, figure it out. So you take responsibility even if you don't want to take responsibility. As a woman, you have these leeways where even if you mess up, you remember the woman that we have in class? Yeah. We had it in class. She didn't know shit about accountability. Economics. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Do you know how she...
You forgot who?
A blonde.
Oh, he did.
No, she a blonde.
It's a blonde.
Yeah.
We know a lot of
The
that.
one we actually talked in the library with.
There you go. He knows.
Okay.
He was preaching that day. You know what I'm saying? He was a preach.
My first priest.
He that day officially became preach.
Okay. Yes. Amen.
She got a pass on a note. Not like a pass, but like a number. Just when she went to the professor, she was like, because it's so hard and I don't know what to do with it. And please, can you just help me out or do something that I don't want to just lose my time. And she got the pass.
Oh, come on.
I'm not joking. This is not a joke. She told me. And I believe in her because of the fact that she has told me so much about what has happened. Just so my feeling is justified, right? No. This is a particular case. But what I'm trying to say is that I could never get away with that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about my personal experience.
You tried.
I could never. I tried. I could never get away. Just saying that. You know what? It's just hard. And
I could do it.
can you just see?
You did
You know, see a little bit. The teacher will look at me and say, "Well, figure it out. It's not my problem.
You just suck.
You just suck."
You just suck. Come on, man.
You get what I'm saying?
So, yeah, come on, man.
So I think that when that builds up as a man, that gives you that innate responsibility that, hey, if you take something, you are fully responsible of it. Even if in a realistic world, for example, let's say you take a book and you rip one page. It's not a big deal. But still you feel bad because you took responsibility about it. You took that book. Now it's under your custody.
Like he's talking about children or something.
And I think is that. And more so, of course, women are more easily scared to, for example, if another woman is doing it, that she's more inclined to do it.
Okay. In that context.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
If
if
start with loaded answer.
yeah, it's easier if I come to you.
Hurt behavior.
If I come to you and I say you have to scare human being, which one would you choose, female or male? You choose a female because it's easier to scare. I'm not saying that females are just the chicken shits.
Emotional beings. So of course I would choose.
I'm not saying that they're chicken shits. But what I'm saying,
I can say that is true based on my own experience.
No, I would just exactly like I said. Logic, I would choose because it's an emotional being, so or like noticeably much more emotional. So of course I would choose female, or even biological standpoint. Yeah.
You have your own experience. You want to share it?
It's funny that you mentioned the car crashing thing because I actually had a pretty similar thing this week happening.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Which woman crashed your car, bro?
No, not the woman. I actually crashed a car.
No.
You know, so I was actually at hotel, and you know, I was
What you doing over there, bro?
working. I was in my job. Yeah, I was finishing my long working day, so
Finishing it up. Word.
not that kind of working day for that time. But
Which position? Horizontal.
anyways, for that day, I just had arrived at my hotel, and I was just about step out of my car. But I was, it was like about 10 hours long day, and I was like, okay, finally I get home, and fuck. I hit the car. I hit the car, but the thing was that it wasn't hitting that hard. So when I was opening the door, I was looking, okay, what was happening? The only scratch I saw, like it wasn't like even at the bone, because I was then kind of like moving my own car door to just compare. Okay, did it really hit that part? Because the part it had worn off. I wasn't sure, was it already kind of scratched off, or you see what I mean. So I wasn't sure. So but I didn't justify it because it could have come off because me hitting the car. So what I did, I took a paper, I wrote down a message to the driver, and I left my phone number. Hey, here's the thing. This is what happened. I apologize, and I'm sorry. It's my fault. I take responsibility about it. And I left my phone, that paper, the windshield, and went inside. And that's how it rolled. Never got the call. Yeah. So I guess I've overreacted to it, but I didn't take any chances because, I actually had pretty similar experience earlier in 2017. I was 18 earlier. When let's say I was 18. I had pretty earlier.
Yesterday?
No.
Yeah. 6 years ago.
Today.
6 years ago.
But for me it's earlier compared to this week, at least earlier. Anyways, I had a similar experience, but to my regret, I made a wrong choice, and until this day, I regret making that choice of not doing the same thing as I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You regret?
I do regret it because I know I fucked up there. I knew because we parked the car with my friend to that. It hit the next door car. And instead of like doing the same thing as I did this week, I was like, no. Then I backed up and I parked it so that they couldn't suspect my car.
He was slick about it.
Yeah, and I remember the amount of regrets and shame about it I felt. So at this time, I was very happy that I was making the right call about it.
I'm gonna ask you, would you have the same regret if you were a woman?
Oh man! Wow. Hey, he's a male. He can't answer that. He can't answer that.
I don't know.
I know. I know that he cannot answer because we cannot answer the questions that we cannot see ourselves experienced, right? The reason why I asked is because if a woman hit the exact same scenario you said, she hit the car.
Shit, he the fan.
I would never see a woman write a note and say, hey, I'm sorry I hit your car, here's my phone number. I would never see that. However, you also mentioned one thing that is very interesting and is actually very true. I have had in my personal life only one male boss. Others have been females. The one female that I had as a boss, she was in that Target-like grocery store. She was the best, the absolute best. She was that kind of boss that if you had it, you knew for a fact that you will go and do your job. Don't care about your boss is breathing down your neck. You don't care about those things. If you have a problem, you can go straight to her and say, hey, this is the problem. What should we do about it? Mm-hmm. It wasn't, and she understood. She had this, I believe, innate thing, and she was, I believe it was bullied. She was bullied as a young kid. Mm-hmm. When she was a young kid, she was bullied. Now, because of that bullying, she has overcome it, that trauma, and now she knows people. She knows how to talk. She knows how to be around people. For example, she knew immediately when I came there, I was this loudmouth, arrogant young man who had this kind of swag that nobody had. And the worst, of course,
that's what's up.
Do you know what's the worst part? I backed it up. Everything I backed it up. I said, I'm good at this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then
I'm gonna clap your cheek. What?
No, I don't do those.
Yeah.
I'm a virgin.
He capped it.
I'm a virgin.
He capped it.
And I remember in Finnish culture, it's a big no-no. If you start to tell about yourself that, hey, I'm good at this, is a big taboo.
Arrogant.
I went there, I proved myself that I am the man of my word. After that, I remember always she would never in her life say something that is demeaning or undermining or any kind of way disrespectful. But then I also proved myself. When I said something I would do, I did it. That's the height of a masculinity, I can say that.
Hold on a minute.
Yes.
My guy chose the story
Yeah, the swag in me. And it's this nature thing or this responsibility thing, I understand, and I'm gonna be honest even more. I don't want, for example, that my woman or my child, a girl, would take same responsibilities as me, right?
Got you.
I have a responsibility. She can enjoy her life.
That's what's up.
The only thing that my wife or wives, the only thing that they have to take care of is that child has the basic needs that needs to be met. The food, the attention, if they have some pain or anything, she knows how to alleviate that. If they are hungry, if these needs, and I believe that women are much better at reading, for example, a baby when
emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence. In that sense. So therefore, I don't want her to have more responsibility on top of that. I will take everything else. I would take care of everything else.
He said, I'm a big daddy.
Hey, that's a man's thing, a man's thing.
Hey, to that actually.
But yeah.
To that actually, hey, I agree. The same thing, because, when you're in a dangerous situation, when you call an officer, a police officer pulls up and etc.
I don't know.
I know I don't call officers either, but like in like the dangerous situation when you like there's a fire going on or like a robber or etc. You usually expect in those situations, even though it sounds bad, but innately you are not hoping, but thinking that whoever comes out is usually a male character because much more masculine and hopefully masculine, but you know, it gives off that okay, it's somebody who can like take up the stressful situation. But in the opposite situation, if you have a kid and you want to take your kid to a daycare or like somewhere to be, you know,
Yeah.
to feel safe
I
overall,
would never.
I wouldn't take it to a male.
Exactly.
Straight up, I wouldn't take my kid to a male just for the thing, because like we said, females are much more emotionally capable than the guys in that sense.
Think about all male daycare.
Oh hell no! Oh hell no!
I will not take my kid there.
Hell no! Like, hey,
Is it sexist? Yes.
yes.
Do I care? I don't give a shit.
Only time I would take my kid in that situation if it's the kid is a boy. Let's start with that, and the kid is grown enough to, like, example, it's a scenario when I want to toughen it up or like, you know, have that like brotherhood, you know, feeling and
But that's not the daycare though.
That's not a daycare, exactly. But I know when I want my kid to be nourished and protected and safe and so on, I'm taking to females, man. All females, man. I don't give a fuck. If somebody tell me it's a sexist, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna take my kid to a females, man.
Yeah, facts.
Because
Facts.
I know my kid will be at least, you know, safe to that degree. Because I know as a guy, we are kids, you know, we're you know,
Also,
next thing I will find my guy throwing my kid up and down, trying to practice new like acrobatic move. Because we know we kind of dumb. We kind of dumb. Like, let's be honest, we kind of dumb.
in this sense, we don't like think through.
Yeah, we don't think like. Have you seen the dads? Like in a lot of situations, like we are carrying beans. No, don't get us wrong. Like when I say females are much more emotionally capable. It's not like guys are just like we're not Peter Griffins. even though Peter Griffin also has, like, you can see, like Peter Griffin is whatever guy he is, but he's still emotionally, like, you know.
Yeah, if shit goes down.
He is at the end of the show. So as a guys, yeah, we care about like our offspring and so on, but we still tend to end up putting them in a funky situation. Like, you see next thing your kid like rolling down with a motorcycle,
And we don't care.
right? We care, but we say rub some salt on it, bro. Rub some salt on it. It's good, bro. Don't be, hey, but it's actually a good thing. That's when you want to toughen up your kid.
Yeah.
Then definitely you gotta have the dad in the role. But yeah, main point is if it's something about like taking care of the kids and even education, I would actually prefer to take my kid to well, nowadays schools are majorly females.
Yeah.
Majorly film. But funny thing, I would actually take my kid to a more male
Yes.
dominated schools, because I've noticed now my upbringing. I noticed too. There were way too many females. Like, no disrespect, but
And there was never a good looking one.
you're just talking about the looks, man. I mean, I remember that one female from, you know, that had a big punda and everything. Oh, you know what's up?
But she never gave like.
I don't know about you, but
Yeah, she gave you some.
not like that. Not like that. hold on.
No, it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that, but you know, I got the different attention. You know, I got different
He
attention,
was
but
a chocolate boy.
you know, the game was game. But no, what I mean by that is because when we went to school, we had like majority were females. Like only males were mostly PE and our principal. Well, and that also shifted in between. Like there were certain like teachers that were male, but like majorly it was female teachers. And with female teacher, you know, it's not that they're not that they don't have the competence. They're educated. They're educated. But in a lot of situations, I noticed they tend to put their emotion to the game. If the student was like, example, if they didn't like you, oh sure as hell you would know that. Like, because I had those situations with certain teachers, like they were bitter for the dumbest shit, and you could feel it during the classes. Yeah. And a lot of emotions were put into, rather than teaching me, you're putting your emotion into the game as well.
I remember like it was yesterday.
Like, people know.
Yeah, I remember because Buggy was usually the one who was making the noise.
Hey, come on, don't say it like
That was
Don't say it like
yeah.
that.
You can
I can
imagine.
see that happen.
But he still had this respect thing that when the time was to shut up, he knew when to be quiet, and that's how it's supposed to go, right? There was a time when our linguistic teacher, the teacher of a Finnish class,
Yes.
Oh,
she had, I don't know where, but she had nerves up with this man.
like it's just automatic. Like I said, emotional beings. Like imagine that, emotional beings.
Yes.
The reason why I remember it is because there was a day
I was quiet as heck.
and this guy didn't say a one word in the class. He didn't even raise hand or anything. He was just quiet, doing his work. And others there were like, of course, shouting, and because youngsters. All of a sudden, the teacher shouts, especially Buggit, he should be quiet.
Scapegoat.
And I'm looking.
You know, you're just sitting like this. Then you gotta raise your head like, nigga, what?
Well, I remember, because think about it. I remember it.
Because everybody turned. At that point, everybody like, oh, what?
And we were looking at like, he didn't say nothing today. What you talking about? And
Scapegoat would it be?
it's a scapegoat, but what I believe is that if you want to raise a man, you go to a man. He will raise you. If you want to raise a woman, you go to a woman and she will raise you. Now, where the problem lies is that, like you said, the competence is there. She has the ability to teach you that subject that she's teaching you. The difference is that discipline part, that man part, that stoicism part, which is innate thing as a human, as a man, is taken out of. And now everything that happens emotionally can affect you, even if you don't have anything like personal in a sense.
Yeah.
Like that is the bad part, and I actually can put my name on that. For example, to bring a school where it's only guys and only girls until like 16.
Oh. So no fucking.
To be like until high school.
No fucking.
Be raised in that male environment and that female environment, and then in high school when you meet each other, to also understand how the other part of the equation.
Wouldn't that enhance the sexism? You know, like.
Yes, but it would it would solve the problems that now today boys have. I don't feel like it. My
I
guy,
don't give a fuck.
I must say this, and then you have some points.
No, it's the teacher thing.
You have some points.
For now.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna then be quiet.
Oh no, it's risky.
There is not a day that will be importance about your feelings as a man.
I mean, true.
If you are tired, who cares?
Nobody
You're
give a fuck.
sad,
Nobody gonna save you.
who cares? If you are happy, who cares? Do you? Yeah, nobody cares. You happy, you sad, you anxious, you angry. Nobody cares. Do you go
Dark times.
to work? Do you do the job? That is the question.
Hey, nobody cares still. If you do the
If
job,
you-
nobody cares.
If you do the job for somebody, you care. You get what I'm saying?
As long as you provide some.
You provide. You have some competence. You put some time in. You put some effort in. There is a reason. Then somebody cares. But if you just feel like it has happened so many times. You know that when you're working, you work. All of a sudden, the guys doesn't come up. Why? Because they have this party somewhere. What's the difference? Go to work, then go to party. No, I feel, and I don't care what you feel like.
Oh, he's talking about the hangovers, I see.
I'm talking about the bitches. The absolute bitches. Yeah, I'm saying I don't give a shit. Actually, I have more respect for females in that place that I worked in, grocery store, than for males. Because of that reason, that for some reason males just wanted to just like bail.
I have actually one story about male who was actually doing similar things, skipping work. Actually, our common school friend actually told he was working a summer job somewhere at a grill. Anyway, so he was put in a lot of situations where he would have to do a lot of extra shifts because for some reason ever. But one time he had to do extra shift because the owner had an employee who was the owner's son, and the son on one occasion didn't come to the work because he was having a hangover. He was having a hangover. He called his dad, "Hey dad, I have a hangover. I'm gonna come here." Okay, that's cool. Hey you guy, you there? Okay. Can you come here to work today? I guess so. Okay, come here.
I guess so. Nah.
Yeah, so this guy who actually was a really decent guy, who's actually hardworking. You know, this guy.
Yeah.
He's actually really doing
He's been
hard.
in our podcast actually.
Yeah, exactly. In our previous podcast,
Yeah.
and he was the guy.
Not the
ball.
Not the ball, but
Yeah,
he
ball.
was bald actually.
Yeah.
Small,
So this just shows me like importance. Like if you have work to do, it doesn't matter if you have a hangover. It's your responsibility. It's your own fault that you were so dumb to go to drink day before work, get a hangover, and then you're gonna call. I would okay fine if you lie, which I don't encourage anyone to do. At least then don't be so. I can't believe you're gonna be straight. You cannot come to work because you chose to drink day before work, and then you call your dad that hey, I cannot come today to work because I have a hangover.
I would never.
My dad
I
whooped
would.
my
I
ass.
was
still
about
be
to
working.
whoop my ass if
That
I
was
do.
my dad company. I would get ass whooped and be in the work.
Yeah, like I cannot imagine any day if my dad was my opening company, I would be working. My dad would just say, I don't care, you will come because it's your birthday. He wouldn't say that. He wouldn't care. He wouldn't even raise his voice. Like he wouldn't give a damn. He would give me. If I wouldn't come, he would fire me.
The good reminder. Ooh, have you seen this new belt I got? The good letter, bro. Like you just send your dad message. Yo, I can't come to work today, and you just get the message back that says, "Hey, yo, bro, have you seen this new belt I got?"
I went to this clothes store. There's this new, very fancy belt. I haven't tried it. Do you want to come see?
You wanna find it out?
You want to see how nice it feels against you?
I was kind of like being indecisive about it for a while, like if I want to buy it. But now that you sent me this message, I feel like this is it. This is it, bro.
I'm gonna ask you even this: what's the difference between a mom whooping your ass and a father whooping your ass? Because there is also a difference.
Oh yeah, this comes out kind of like the same why female teachers in my situation didn't work out properly. Because male characters, bruh, when your mom was whooping your ass, of course you're fighting back. You ain't about your mom screaming and all that. But when your dad was, when your mom called your dad or someone else, you did something wrong, and your mom said your dad's name, "Come here, this kid, blah blah blah." Your dad didn't have to say a word. The aura. That's what I'm telling you. Male teachers who are stand on business, that makes you same kind of in army. When you saw somebody that you respected without them even needing to scream, you're like, I listen to this motherfucker and I pay attention. So the difference is the emotional part. Females are much more emotional. And when your mom whooping your ass, she's like, tears, blah, blah, blah. You dodge one thing, she starts crying that you whoop her back and all that shit. But when your dad pulled up, ooh, bro, you didn't even need to hear the scream or loud. You just heard one deep word, your name mentioned. X. That's it. You didn't even complain. You just pose, ready for action. And you were told, come here. Start singing the slavery songs. The good old days. Oh, mama. There were difference because innately you had a different respect towards somebody who had that kind of masculine character. So one reason why I go back to the school thing, why I kind of had issues with even though I passed school and et cetera, and it wasn't even that I disrespected the teacher or didn't like females or so on, but innately there was kind of like a switch off. Like if we had one bad day together, example, I was loud during that day, and that teacher had like a bad day. It became a whole snowball effect after that. Like our relationship was shit. Because if you think about it, how many male teacher did I have issue with during my whole school years?
I don't remember one.
I might have not liked certain teachers, but it wasn't like a whole like oh shit, we cannot like coexist anymore or so. But with a female teacher, it was pretty much in that state. Like if we were in a bad terms, bro, we were in bad terms with the whole school. Like almost all the like native, well, we call it äidinkieli, kind of like native language teachers. But like Finnish language teachers, bro, almost all of them I had like bad like experience with, and even certain like whatever teacher, like almost pretty much all the female teacher I had like certain type of issue with, because somewhere along the line or the path we kind of like crossed each other a little bit wrong, and poof, after that it ever. But with the guys, you know, we might be like little like for a moment if the teachers like annoy me or do some shit, like I'm like look at him wrong, and he looks me wrong, and after that we cool.
Yeah.
Like it was that simple that people, at least male teacher, usually understood that it's not a personal thing. Like they understand that you're a student and that's that. And after that, because their point is to teach you, not like really be like your freaking guardian or mother, etc. So that's why that's why I'm like, as a guy, preferably I would throw guys to a all male school, or well, not all male, but like that has like noticeably more male teachers in that school.
Yeah. And even because this subject that we are talking, we can go on hours and hours and hours. But there are still a few things that I think we have to uncover. And let me check how long have we have talked.
1:30.
I think
2 hours.
I think
So the sun. So
Yeah.
Sunny, right?
I'm gonna tell this, and then I'm gonna ask the last question, and then we can say the au revoir. Jordan Peterson had this. Now you have to check it at the end. Even Jordan Peterson, shout out to him. He had this. He had this great observation about the young kids, boys, little boys. They are too energetic to be in one place when they are so young. And the whole point is that as a young boy, you learn by playing. You play sports, or you wrestle, or you, especially when you do it with your father. When you wrestle with your father, well, I wrestled, but I always lose when I was a kid.
Game is game.
I always lose when I was a kid. I knew my father was stronger than me, of course.
You know,
but you know,
one way to like exert all that energy out.
exactly, and and that's why, for example, brotherly love is based on that rivalry. That you wrestle with him, you push him. Oh, you ain't gonna do shit. Oh, you ain't gonna do shit. Oh, who will do it? Who will do it? And that's the beautiful part. This observation was so clear when every time you visit a school and you see little boys, they are not staying in place. Why? Because that little boy has so much energy, and he has to be. For example,
situation. I was
for example, I don't and I'm not even that kind of guy. Like I knew when to be quiet and when to not be
you were
quiet.
peaceful.
I was peaceful, but I still had always that we had so much we had energy, and we had to just pour it out somewhere. And I'm gonna ask now the question, because the kids now came up. The question is that how do you see this thing proceeding? Because believe it or not, gentlemen, I've seen it. I'm talking about you two guys. I don't think you live. I'm not talking about not to them, but gentlemen.
Talking about the ladies then.
Gentlemen,
Okay.
I've seen it as if kind of like now we are in this place where they are trying to push this narrative that women are just better than men in every scenario, which is not true. I'm sorry. I am actually not sorry, but I'm sorry to break it to you.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
No, the Iceland case proved an actual best point.
I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry. What?
You know the case,
Iceland, yeah.
Iceland case, where all the women went on a strike.
Oh,
For those who don't know, I'm gonna just quickly summarize this.
shit went south.
Iceland has about 1 million, million and 1.2 million population. 33% women, 33% men, 33% children.
The rest are just in between.
I don't know what's the rest.
Infants and elders.
And in that country, I believe, such as in any Scandinavian country, women have pretty good life. Like you getting up to protest about your standards is, in my opinion, pretty hypocritical. But my hypocrisy was proven when all the women, all 33% of a population, went on a strike. And they went on a strike for 3 days, 4 days, something like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Nothing happened or changed. Everything was exactly the same.
Even if I remember right, guys were actually having a good time.
Yeah,
Guys were having
yeah. Some CEO said, like in there, some CEO said, "Well, it was good finally to do some work here."
like we got shit done.
But he was actually joking, of course. But
Was it out?
No, maybe I don't know.
Because I don't think if CEO says that out loud, bro, he ain't even joking.
Isn't there always a saying that there's half truth to that joke?
Yeah, always.
true,
There's always some truth
true.
to that joke.
But what I want to say with that is that if you actually believe that a woman are superior species or superior to men in every level, then I think you're delusional. Delulu. And that Iceland case proved the fact. So my question comes up for the future, because I've seen now, especially like they try to prove that it's not the case, but when they try to prove, they actually disprove themselves. So now it has come to a point where people are so educated they can see that even if they go to this route where they are this anti-male and feminist Nazis and no. Actually, I have a theory about feminism.
Oh, right.
They have never experienced good orgasm. Oh, now we are quiet, right? Now we are quiet. Nobody says anything. I bet. Proved me wrong. If there is a feminist who is sexually and physically satisfied.
Now, follow-up question. Have you ever met that kind of the feminist?
No. Do you know why?
Because you're full of shit.
Do you know why I don't meet those kind of women?
Because I satisfy my customers. he's like, I'm satisfied my customer 100%.
I don't.
After feminist meets you, she's not gonna be a feminist anymore.
Usually, it all drains out. Every smidge of that feminism that she has, that pride, usually fades out. I believe the reason being is because she can be a woman around me.
Actually, that's true. That's true. Even the person that she even said that straight up, that, when female can be like, be in her innate state that she can be, it will tone down. Pretty, like, they will start being giggity,
Yeah, they start to act like a little girl.
Yeah, which is actually funny, and yeah. You know something about it. You know something about it. Yeah, I know what I'm saying. And the same thing with our homeboy, you see. He had the same thing. All of them chicks that pull ups on him.
Yeah.
All of them, their tone drops down.
Yeah. He's actually a great example.
Because that shows you that some of them just, it's just a facade and act.
It's never...
Which is kind of like a reproduction of like society currently. Yeah. So, but initially they want to be like on their feminine essence.
Yes. and I've seen it. The more she is towards that, the more she has issues from the past traumas. But I've also seen that more she craves more. If she has more of that, like she has a lot of attention, because usually when a woman is damaged, she
Talking about products, huh?
when she is traumatized in her life, for example, usually is the daddy issues. Usually is the dad thing because they didn't have a good father figure in their life, and now it has pushed her to be more masculine. She gets a lot of attention because she's in good shape because of that she is masculine. Now she meets, for example, Yusuf. And he is, him.
He's that old minutes.
He doesn't play around with this.
Bruh, she be telling me, I'm like, this guy, oh, damn. He said,
He doesn't.
man, get that me out of him.
He doesn't play around, but because of that he has that essence, he has that vibe, he has that presence. Can we say it like that? The woman, even if she's top notch like feminist, all of a sudden goes down.
Tones down, and all of a sudden
down.
she becomes girly girl.
And she is craving for that. She's craving, she's screaming that I need that. I need to be in that state. But
Hey, but you know what? To that, you know the cause of that? Because I don't even blame it on females.
no.
I blame it on our pussy ass males nowadays.
Like I said, fathers do.
Hey, they say hard times create hard men create the easy times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. And guess where we're at right now?
Hard times.
Exactly.
That's why we have to become strong. But I've seen now it has like evened out that even most of the women are not subscribing to this idea of women are superior to men. But
only the goofy ones.
only the goofy ones. Back in the days, maybe like 5 years earlier, it was more of like,
Yeah, 5 years. Well, yeah.
yeah, like about 5 years. After Corona, it started like toned down. I'm gonna ask you guys, how do you see this going?
Honestly, right now,
Man,
I guess-
sun is shining, man.
honestly, I'm gonna say straight up, with the current situation we got going on with the complex scenery, I would strongly let out my thoughts that our current situation is very mind mending. when you try to create big words. No, but all seriousness, the current situation is kind of shit. and,
Best politicians ever.
and we're losing out our war right now because of two things. Well, not really two things, but few things. If the issue would be only about like males and females, yeah, we can like start the progress, fixing it up and all that. But currently, like we have noticed, we have more issues. We got extra genders now. We got extra pronouns, and so basically we are building our issues on top of the issues that we already had.
Yes.
So based on how this trend is going right now, it's gonna be train wreck soon enough. And as we've seen the Great Rome, it goes up. We see the glory.
You have read something about Rome, right?
We're gonna be treated like Caesar were treated when he was younger. That's. But yeah, with all seriousness, the current situation, in my opinion at least, is very bad. And yeah, the awareness is there, at least to some people, because we have the social media. So the data, and if somebody needs to analyze something or find out if something is true, it's out there. They can like research their own. If they have more brain cells than the two brain cells running on their own. But yeah, I would say like this.
Yeah, you see that as if like a knot, and it just tightens and tightens and
Pretty
tightens,
much, and soon enough snap.
somewhere it snaps.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
See it like that.
yeah, and the pace we're going right now, we're gonna add up even more issues, and that shit's gonna weigh us down even worse. But that's pretty much.
And for Puri, I would even add a little bit more extra sauce to it.
Oh, sexism,
Not only how you see
Genderism.
that is it, that
racism,
all this is. I would add even more because I know that you not only like but you also have insights for these. How do you see the emotional part going about it? Not only the future but also the emotional part.
Like, hold on, what the?
Well, as you said before, there are a lot of female teachers, and I heard from actually met one female teacher last year, and she actually told like you can barely say anything to the pupils. Pretty much nothing you can say to them. Because then they will just go to their parents, and the parents will call, "What the fuck did you say, Matthew?" So in essence,
stupid. Well, I said he's stupid.
Anyway, the essence is like if it's gonna be that way, that no, you cannot say anything to children. They're gonna be raised without discipline. Actually, second story about lack of discipline or poor manners. One of my very very close people was actually driving car. Going home, there were two about 10 or 11-year-old children passing the street. They looked at my curtains and showed their middle finger. Out of the blue, without no consideration. Like, okay, so this is a stranger. I don't know. She's a human being. No.
You gonna be abducted after that. You told me that middle finger, bro.
So
You be sold.
So I think like, that there's a lot of emotional sensitivity. People are not being allowed to be told what they need to hear. More like living in the delusion. Living in the delulu, and therefore people are not. They don't have their legs held in the ground sternly. And therefore, they will have a lot of issues in work. They will hear feedback, both positive and negative, but they will be defensive about negative comments, and they won't take it, and they will say, "Oh, you're wrong. My dad knows me better. My mom knows me better." And in essence, like they pretty much they will be full of shit, and they won't be taking any responsibility for their mistakes. I think like if the students won't be taught about taking responsibility, and maybe from time to time even being disciplined home. Whatever that means, at least raising them with the manners. At least, whether it's with whooping or ass or whatever. Still, I think like having your children some sort of discipline, and so that they at least somehow learn how to be disciplined. I think that's the essence of it.
And I also asked about the gender equality, and how do you see that playing? Because children.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but so
more so for the gender part.
Yeah, like that's where I started with it. So I think there should be, especially either for both parties, some way of showing the discipline, either with more masculine presence, or that then women would be able to use more harsh ways of disciplining them. Not maybe them, but let's say I have one example, very good example. This might sound really extreme, but I had experience where I was at a class. I had a female teacher who had repeatedly told me to take my backpack from the corridor, because I have repeatedly forgotten it there. I went to lunch, and when I came back, my backpack had been thrown all over the class. My books were all over the class. And not just that, of course, my classmates were so kind that they would be kicking them over the class anyways. Now here comes the climax of the story. So, all these things had happened, but before we started, my teacher told me to raise up from my chair. I was standing up. My teacher held like that kind of rant about, okay, Puru, you cannot do this, blah, 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 blah. There were about 15 to 20 classmates listening silently. I was the only one there standing. My teacher was giving her mind, telling me what I was doing wrong. I felt humiliated. I didn't know should I laugh or cry. I was just confused of what the fuck is happening. if we would have more these kind of teachers, I don't think that there would be that much discipline problems. Let's just say like that. I'm not saying that this is the only way, but this is one of the ways. I think there should be that kind of more psychological aspect to discipline the students of the class. But some way that if people would find a way how to discipline children without resorting to physical violence, I think that would be the best way of finding the way to discipline them. I think anyways, whether it's woman or man teaching or doing whatever, I think that should be one way. But I'm sure if I answered the question, it's what you were.
Yeah. I took the answer that I asked.
Understood.
We understood. Yeah, and this side note, I don't know about you guys, but if a female is disciplining me, it doesn't feel like it's discipline. I'm gonna be honest with you. No, I'm telling you. Maybe it's because I was.
Mama is listening to this.
Yeah, I know,
She's gonna be like, "Oh, so all this time
and I love my mama to death,
your game is played, bro." You
and I
can't go
respect
home,
her. I respect her to all my heart. But, like you said, that aura when a dad told you, for example, do this.
You could have complained.
You don't cry, you don't laugh, you don't say nothing. You go and do it. You be quiet. You don't say nothing. And the reason for me is I was very fortunate, and I know that. And the more years I add up to my number, I see it, that how fortunate I was that I had a father who instilled so much to me about principles, about morals, about discipline. And maybe that's the reason that if a woman, for example, tries to discipline me, I will not take you seriously.
Hey, sexist.
I am. No, I'm telling you, not for the sake of I don't respect them. Quite the contrary. I don't want a woman to have that role of a disciplinary.
Sexist.
You're calling me sexist?
Hey, that's what I'm hearing.
But yeah.
I'm hearing it a mile away.
But yeah, no, I'm serious. I don't want a woman to be that disciplinary that takes that role. I want a man to do it. In my case, it was my father. In my brother's case, I was. And when my child, hopefully one day, comes into this world, or children, I'm gonna say better, like 10, 15 of them.
Better start working, bro. Your time
Brother, we need to repopulate this earth.
fast.
We have to bring these new genes. Strong.
Step up your game. You need to go out south, bro. You need to.
It's not even a funny thing. It's an obligation.
You gotta start giving them the moon nights. And we gotta go to the north, and we gotta go also to the east.
To all over the world. We go get some paychecks.
Hey, Puru needs to go like south and India. We need to take the north and the...
Why India, brother?
Hey, he needs to melanate with the...
Melanie.
You know, with the chocolatey colored people.
Chocolatey colored people. Yeah.
All right.
Last.
Gotcha.
Game is game.
The game is
Side
game.
quest begin.
Let's go.
Side quest.
Guys, any last thoughts on this topic?
Well, hopefully whoever got their feelings hurt right now during this podcast.
We are not sorry.
Well, I was about to say that too, and well, I just wanted to remind that you is a bitch if you got your feelings hurt, because hey, this is just an opinion, not just pure.
Ass kissing.
Yes, and hey, we're just honest how we view things, and your opinion might differ from us, and as well, even between us, our views might differ in certain subjects.
Yeah.
But hey, that's what's up.
I want 15 kids. You want 12.
No, I want the whole harem, bro.
How much, brother? 30?
Bro, Sheng is high level shit. Hey, you got it. Hey, that's what's
well,
up.
you have to step up. He was 13 when he was married.
Bro, and he was
He had
slinging.
he was 2 wives when he was 15.
He was slinging that Mongolian let me not say what. But now, with all seriousness, this just was, pure opinions and how we view things, and we gotta be honest about it as well, because we ain't trying to do the same shit as what a lot of people nowadays be like. There's 15 genders, and we're like, yeah, we agree, because we don't want to make anybody feel bad about themselves. Nah, motherfucker. I was raised with 2 genders, and I've seen 2 genders, and motherfucker, if you try to explain to me that the goddamn transgenders, well, not even transgender, the hermaphrodites, well, I don't know if it's in English the same word. Well, anyway, the people who are born with like both genders, but usually there's the one dominant one, but yeah, those are kind of like abnormalities. So don't even try me with that bullshit. But yeah, so if you want to be a helicopter, be a helicopter, but don't tell me it's a fact of the world. So simple as that. So yeah, but hopefully this was entertaining at least. If nothing else, if you were like, I don't want to listen to the bullshit you always say, hopefully it was entertaining at least. And yeah, and hopefully you got something out of this conversation. And even though it might sound kind of contradictory, but I hope to see you enjoying the conversation more in the future, and we might warm up to each other. It's a love and hate relationship. I know you there. I know you, sweetheart. I know you.
Yeah, for first. Well, I will say first of all, if you feel like you guys are full of shit, I don't agree with you. Well, that's completely fine. That's completely fine. Maybe you should reconsider. Is this the right channel for you? First off, that's the first thing. But if you disagree, feel free to comment and keep your peace of mind about it. And if you have anything to say, we're looking forward to it, actually, to hear what you think about it. But these are opinions. We think this way, and we share our views about it, and we actually encourage conversation, as long as it's happening, in a way that actually promotes constructive conversation. And if anything like, you are a piece of shit, that kind of thing.
So was you. And so did your parents tell you as well, so you come at me.
Yeah, so you feel what you feel.
Expecting second generation.
Yeah, but you feel what you feel, whatever you feel like doing, do as you please. But anyways, equality, we're not taking away that there's definitely, there might be some inequality happening, that is true. But I think compared to how it used to be, let's say 50 years ago, things have drastically changed. And I think women and men, both of them have pretty much for the most part, pretty equal opportunities to go after whatever they want. If you have a desire for something, you want to do something, you want to start a business, you want to start a family, you want to do whatever you want. I think you have whatever is your gender, you can start with it. As long as you have a good plan, you know what you're doing, you have the competence, skills, whatever is required, you can do it. But I think it's more about now projecting your own prejudices because the differences are so small that it can be very hard to say where is it truly inequality and when is it about just your projections. So I think first off, we should be aware about how we think about things, how we feel about things before we start pointing fingers. Oh, that's inequality. Oh, that's inequality. How dare you say that? Yes, that's very sexist of you. How dare you think that way, right? So I think you should first off be very aware about your emotions and your thoughts before you start pointing fingers at any point. How dare?
Shut up.
Goddamn.
You want to say the last one? Last time?
How dare you?
Jesus Christ.
Hey, you gotta remind it. You gotta
Yeah.
edit.
I must say this from a experienced college professor of
Oh, I was
You
like,
didn't tell me about your education for
I
this.
was like, hold on, what kind of professor you be?
not me
I thought you were a
from
bachelor. Okay.
from a college professor of 40 plus years, and they made their own college now, own university now, and he said that the best ideas are born from the worst idea. When people are just talking, they are just saying shit, that's when the best ideas are born. And that ability, that is actually one of the reasons, if not the reason, that we started a podcast.
Choppy shit.
Because
All right.
because the spirit of the actual life of having these breakthroughs in life comes from stupid things. When you just say, hey, maybe this works, maybe that works, what about this, hey, what you say about this, like
Some bullshit.
let's say, for example, those brothers who created flying.
Oh yeah, Douglas.
You think that it was a good idea to fly?
It was a cool idea. I guess.
It was cool, but it was not good idea.
Hey, I saw a vision.
That's
That was
what
up.
matters. It was a cool idea. That's what matters.
You get what I'm
My
saying?
homeboy said, I dare you.
And they had you can,
I dare you. That's how most of them probably be like, I dare you. Okay.
Oh, you ain't shit.
and
You ain't shit.
and in that spirit they were just chapping like, hey, what about this, what about that, hey, what about this, hey, your mama look bad.
Don't you talk about my mama?
In between, like, your mama's bad. What the?
and from that spirit becomes the greatest ideas. And I believe that that's one of the core reasons why we made this podcast, and that's the core reasons why we come in front of the camera and talk like we talk, because this is not an act. We talk like this behind the camera with, of course, distinctive differences that we don't talk in English.
I mean, we mix it up.
But we mix it up. But if you have that kind of feeling that they talk that you are somehow offended or anything, what can I do to you?
Square up.
Come and hug you? No.
Square up. You gotta tell them square up.
We are not sorry for it, and we are ready to debate these any day, because our opinions and opinions outlaws. In that note, I think it has come to a conclusion that the end is on point. So,
Like, comment,
Subscribe.
and make sure that the only thing you cannot say is you cannot say that.
or suck your.
Amen.
All right.